Hey guys, Jordan here, out here shooting an elite package on a massive house. This house is 9,000 square feet, so I just wanted to go through the entire process, see what things we need to modify, and also show you my thought process and how I go about it. So maybe you can learn something and implement something on how you're doing the shooting that might make it more pleasant, more efficient, and just an overall better experience for the customer and for you. I got here at 9:30, met with the agents, and we kind of walked through the house. I noticed that some of the fans were already on, so instead of turning off the fans and then turning them back on, I said, hey, we can start with the video. They also did an agent on camera, which was pretty complex because they had kind of a script. We did like, I want to say 4 shots with audio and me following them. You know, another obstacle I ran into is in the backyard, there was blowers from the neighbors, so instead of just waiting, I went ahead in the house and I shot all the interior and exterior B-roll shots, or not even just B-roll, just the main video shots for the video. So I'm finished with the video. It's 11:05, so I've been here for about an hour and a half. I spent about 15-20 minutes setting up, and then a lot of that initial time, so that right now it was a lot of back and forth doing multiple takes on the agent on camera and then B-roll shots. So now I'm gonna transition to do some drone shots. They're helping out by turning off the fans in the house. So that was something that I was willing to do, but I just asked them because they turned them on and there's a lot of switches and anyways, so they're more than willing to help. I would have done it myself, but anyway, so I'm doing the drone and the photos and the floor plan, as well as the 3D tour. So I have some thoughts of some modifications, but I will share like the equipment that I'm using and some additional things, but I just wanted to do a quick check-in since it's 11:06 to let you know what I'm working on right now and kind of my thought process now. All right, so it's now 11:28. I've been here for almost 2 hours. I just did the drone stuff, but I took a business call and I also was talking to the agent. I made sure before he left to get any information that I needed to complete my shoot, so I don't have to text him or do anything. There was one thing in the notes about doing some restaurant shots instead of community photos, because this isn't like your traditional community. So I made sure to get, hey, what restaurants were you wanting, or what's the selling point? So there's like a Postino's. Anyways, he gave me the 4 restaurants that I'll capture on the way out, either with drone or ground level camera, depending on how it's positioned, where it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna text him when I'm finished. So anyways, I wanted to go over the gear that I'm using so you guys can get an idea. I usually keep one of these in my car for charging stuff. This is a smaller Jackery. I also have like a DJI power station that's large, but that's mostly overkill. So I have the DJI, or this is a Air 3S controller. This is the Z1, and this is just the Pocket 3 that I use for the video. And then this is my main camera setup on a monopod, which I shoot 99% of the time with. It's a A7S III. So just as your standard Sony camera. I guess that one's more geared towards video, but I like shooting with that one because it's 12 megapixels. And that's a 16-35 lens. So anyways, this is pretty much all the gear I'm using today to shoot a whole lot of products for this house. All right, so now that they're gone, and trust me, I'm not rushing through any of these shots. This is just basic going through. So now I'm gonna transition to doing photos, because I did video first because the fans were on. So the fans should now be off. I haven't been back inside since they did it, so I'll be aware and look for potential fans that are still on. Capture everything, just methodically going through my house. I like to go through the houses like in a clockwise or counterclockwise along the wall, so I make sure I don't miss any rooms And I'm just gonna go through with my monopod and my Bluetooth remote, and then I'll come back and kind of, we'll see how long it took me and, you know, what are some obstacles I ran into in the house. All right, so just finished the photos. It's 12:03. I want to say that took about 30 minutes to do the 9,000 square foot home, and I really took my time. It's just with the monopod setup, it's just so much more efficient from my experience with a tripod. But the thing with the house this size, and it has like 2 areas that go upstairs, so there's some complexities to this. So on a single story home where you just kind of can go around and hug the walls, I really had to do a mental checklist to make sure I didn't miss anything. The garages were like separated, and there was like a little workshop between. So there was a lot of nuances to this house that are very rare that I probably, I've maybe shot 1 or 2 houses like this previously out of the thousands of homes that I've shot. So this one's kind of a unique outlier of a house, but regardless, so we got, you know, the video, the drone stuff, the photo is done. Now I'm gonna transition to the 3D tour. Now on this package, it comes with a Zillow tour as well as a Matterport, and I'm gonna do the one first that's most picky, which is the Matterport. And I'm not sure, I think I've done something like this before where I've done like Zillow and it saves the photos, and then I just upload the photos to Matterport to make it. I'm not sure which way I've done that before. So I'll do the Matterport, and then obviously if I have to shoot a second time with the Zillow 3D, I will, unless it allows for uploads that are saved to the device. So I'll double check the settings. Anyways, that's where we're at right now. All right, so I got about 5 scans in with the Z1, and it was just so slow. Like, it would scan, but I'm so used to a 360 camera being quick, right? Like, you almost can't get out of the way fast enough to move, you know, keep it going. Like, and especially with a house like this, so I'm switching up my strategy, not strategy, but I'm not gonna roll with the Z1. In my head, I'm like, I would rather, this is an Insta360 1X2 that, I think the sensor is not as high quality as the Z1, but it'll allow me to move faster. I always keep extra gear around just for a situation like this. I also have, this was my other thought process. So if this other camera doesn't work efficiently, then what I was going to attempt is just, even though Matterport doesn't support the Insta360 X4, I was just gonna shoot it like Matterport, just photos, boom, 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 and then use the Matterport camera just to import the photos. That was gonna be my other strategy. So we'll see how this strategy is. And I'm confirming that they're saving to my device, to the device as well, not just to the app, because I wanna take these 360 images that I'm shooting with the Matterport to be able to mass upload them to the Zillow 3D if it allows me to, which I can't imagine why it wouldn't. So anyways, round 2 with the 360 tour. All right, so I just finished doing the Matterport, and it is 12:59. So I think that took me about 30 minutes to do it. It was quite complicated. This was the first time where I had to, like, there was more than one part of the home on the second floor. So I had to create like a floor 2 and then a floor 2B. And it actually worked pretty well. And then I did the basement. But anyways, I just figured that Zillow, the 3D tour does not import photos. You can import photos from Zillow into Matterport, but it doesn't work the other way around. So I'm gonna have to shoot a Zillow 3D tour now, which actually isn't the worst thing, because I'll have a really good sense of like time spent Matterport with the 360 camera versus Zillow 3D. And I think we'll probably end up making some changes, at least to the package that I'm shooting today. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm I'm actually switching to the Insta360 X4 because that camera is way faster than this one, and I should be able to, I actually don't mind doing the Zillow. So anyways, transitioning to the Zillow. All right, so I just finished the Zillow tour. I used the Insta360, whatever this one is, the X4. Definitely much smoother. You know, coming off of a Matterport, I almost shot it like the Matterport. I think I overshot it a bit, but it took about the same amount of time, or it took about 30 minutes. The one variable that I ran into or issue is the kids came home from school. One came in and threw their Crocs off, and there's like no parents. It's just two kids that came home from school, so that was odd, but they were respectful. So that's pretty much it. I think I'm just gonna go through my checklist again to make sure I hit all the products. I was going to do the QB Casa, but now since the kids are home, I don't wanna, they're in their room, I don't wanna like walk in. You know what I mean? It's a little bit weird. But I did the Zillow tour, so that floor plan should be sufficient. So I'm gonna just rely on that. And now just go to shoot a few community shots of the restaurants that the agent wanted. And I think that's it. Right now it's 1:30, so, or 1:34. So I've been here since 9:30. So what is that? 4 hours. So this took 4 hours on a 9,000 square foot home. My initial projection was 3, but actually it probably would have been 3 if it wasn't, because it took about an hour, the filming of the video and like the whole intro with the agent, which was cool and all, I didn't mind it, but that just was a little more time consuming, and then doing the double 3. But yeah, definitely shooting this and being out here instead of just creating packages on my computer really helps me understand, okay, you know, how is it from a media specialist perspective, homeowner, agent, you know, is it priced right? Do they value all these products and packages? Which I think we can make changes easily and nobody's gonna complain. That's it for this property. It's nice, you know, about as big as they get. I don't think I've ever shot too many that are bigger than this one from a square footage perspective. But anyways, that's it. We'll see you guys on the next one.